back to another episode of Behind the Stripes. I am joined by the one and only Charlie, and he's going to answer some of your questions for him. So, how did you first get into refereeing?
That's a good question, Hayden. Firstly, thank you for having me on this episode of Behind the Stripes. How did I first get into refereeing? Well, when I first started playing basketball, my first ever domestic coach was a referee at the time, and I idolised him so much. Like, I thought it was really cool how he was like coaching, playing, and reffing. Like, I was really starting to get into basketball, so for me that was like a massive motivator. And so reffing had always been on the back of my mind, and when I finally was old enough, I'd almost forgotten about it, and my mum was like, "Hey, are you going to get into it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to get into it." And so I guess my love of the game kind of pushed me in, but then the culture, the role models I had around me really kept me around. I thought I was just going to stick to Saturday mornings and do 3 games a week and then only come back that time next week. But I guess, yeah, just all the people around me, the friends I was making, being able to be around the game more than I already was really glued me to staying a bit longer.
Good answer. So you've officiated 2 National Junior Classics now.
Yes. Yeah.
This year specifically, you were awarded the bronze medal 14 girls game.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
That was a pretty awesome feeling. Yeah. The Classic is a really grueling long weekend, and it's only a few days, but you feel like you go through so many emotions in a short span of time. So when you finally get that appointment that you've been working so hard for, it's the best feeling. So I was really relieved, but I was also really excited because you get to just go into that game with almost no expectations. You're just there to go out and put your best performance together. You've got that game you desire, and now you just get to enjoy the adrenaline of the moment. That game was so much fun to be involved in. There was moments where the adrenaline just lifts you up and you're just loving every bit of what you're doing. So yeah, that was one of my favourite games I've been able to officiate.
When you saw the appointment on your ref book, who was the first person you texted about it?
Yeah, I was in bed. I was debating whether I was going to go to bed or stay up because the year before they came out really late. And I was like, well, if I'm upset with it, it's going to be a bit of a struggle going to sleep. And I ended up biting the bullet due to a few influencers who told me to stay up. First, I went screaming out of my room and told my mum, who was still up late at night. And then I texted my girlfriend and told her that I got the game I'd been hoping for. And yeah, so then I went to sleep very, very happy.
Yes, that's good. And you smashed it, definitely did.
Sure.
What was the moment that you felt like in your referee development that you knew you were ready to take on the junior panel step?
I guess not so much the junior panel step, but I guess one moment that really, like, in terms of development, like feeling like I had developed a lot was there was a coach, or there's a coach currently at Knox Raiders who used to be at a different association. And when I refereed their team in the 2024 Classic, I was given hell and back by this coach. It was my toughest game for the weekend, and it was really emotionally draining to just hear from this coach almost every 2 minutes. And then I actually refereed their team now that they're coaching at Knox on a Friday night. And there was an out of bounds call right in front of him, and I was like, yep, he's going to lose it. And instead he went, "You're just too darn good at what you do." And I went, yeah, cool. I've definitely gotten better in that past 12 months. Yeah, that would be my moment.
That's good. Are you best friends now when you see him?
Yeah, we're best buds.
We're
we're on high five terms. So yeah, we get along.
You were the recipient of the 2023 Advisory Award.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that when you received it?
Yeah, obviously it's named after Anthony Alderbrook. So that was a pretty big deal, like just to feel recognised like under such a famous name of the branch. But I guess just it's always nice to know when Sam Forgiva actually likes you, because you can never tell with that poker face he's got. So that award kind of solidified for me, maybe he doesn't think I'm all that bad after all. So I was like, yeah, cool, Sam doesn't hate me. Cool, all right, I like it. That's my answer.
What is one piece of advice you often give to newer referees?
I think there's a lot you can learn, and so I try not to reinforce the things you've learned in the course. I think one thing that comes with refereeing that to really take you and a team to the next level is a solid amount of teamwork. The power of one is extremely important on any day of the week. And if you come with as much energy as I come with when we referee under 8s on Saturday morning, the level of our officiating goes from here to here. Whether it's simple as like fist bumps, saying g'day, how's your weekend been, how's your week, that sort of stuff, to on-court teamwork where I'm doing eye contact checks with you, making sure that we're ready to throw the ball in. Just bringing a vibe, because otherwise it feels like you're just reffing with, even I've done it when I referee with refs from other associations on a Friday night. If the vibe isn't brought, it gets a lot harder to get the outcomes you want as a team to progress and serve the game the right way. So I think teamwork is one of the most essential parts, and that's what I would give to young referees. Yeah,
Teamwork makes the dream work.
that's it. Without being cringe, that's it.
Yeah, never cringe. Nothing on is cringe. So you've accepted the role as treasurer till the end of this financial year.
Yeah.
What made you accept that? What did you like about it?
In a tacky way, can't get enough of being at the stadium. But no, in all seriousness, I just love everything to do with the branch. I could not have asked for more from what the branch has done for me as a person growing up. So I just wanted to continue to service the branch in a way that I could make a real impact. Doing things like this with you, as well as developing referees, and now being able to hold an even higher standard as an executive is such a privilege. And I guess that privilege really motivated me to jump on board.
That's good. How do you balance your refereeing, your university, and your personal life? Yeah, that's such a tough one, because in my opinion, if you want to do it, you'll find time, is how I see things. And for me, that just means using a to-do list, they're key, and using a calendar. Without those two things, I would not be able to manage everything I do. But I just think, if you enjoy refereeing, you will find the time for it. Like I'm so busy, but to the point where I still love refereeing, that I'm here 4 times, sometimes 5 times a week. But I would strongly suggest, if you're one of those busy people and you're not onto a to-do list or a calendar yet, it's time to get one. Time Tree is a great calendar app. This is not sponsored. And I like Google Keep for my to-do lists. Yeah. What has been the most memorable or funniest moment you've ever had on court?
I'm going to dig into the archives for you on this one. And it really should stay in the archives, but I'll trick the people. Many of you may or may not know Jack Sidebottom. He's on the committee. He's one of my best mates. And I actually trained him back when he was a green shirt. And we're on court 6 at Baronia. Skinny gap from the sideline to the wall, probably this much, and about this much between the bench and the court. And so we're running from trail to lead, and this spectator's leg is like out on the sideline, and I've just tripped and head first into the ground on the sideline with Jack running next to me. He just froze and looked at me. He's like, "What do I do?" I was like, keep running, whilst I'm trying to get up. It was the most embarrassing, funny, but also memorable moment. I've not fallen over since then, which is good. But that is definitely a memorable moment in my refereeing career.
I've never heard of that one, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Probably should have kept it in the bank, but for the people.
Exactly, for the people. What is your go-to pre-game routine before refereeing?
I wouldn't have as much as of a pre-game routine, I guess. I mean, pump up music every once in a while is good. I love my music in the car, so that's pretty important for me. But I don't know. I always like, if I've got like a middle of the day game or I'm supervising, a morning bacon, egg, and hash brown roll or sandwich is the way to go. Fills you up for the day. Love one of those. But yeah, apart from that, not a lot of routines. Yeah, not a very habitual guy.
I asked this one to Red.
Yeah.
What he'll be next podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What would you prefer? Doing a long drive up the Bendigo to do our 18 boys Vic Champ game, or hang around down here at your own association and do a 14 boys Vic Champ game?
As much as I love my home association and I love being here, I love a road trip. I love driving. As I mentioned, I love music in the car. So it would be even better if I was going with a friend, but I'd take that road trip over anything.
Two Knox guys going up the bend to go to
Yeah, why not? Why not? I love a good road trip.
Cash, get that going.
Just watch out for the kangaroos on the Calder. They might hit your car. Yeah.
Yes. Alright, so now we're going to get into some quick fire questions.
Oh, okay, alright.
You're just going to tell me what enters your head, okay?
Okay, this is tough, no script. Okay, alright.
Saturday AM or Saturday PM?
Saturday PM.
Block or charge?
Charge.
Favourite venue to referee at?
Old SBC Court 4.
Biggest setback?
Refereeing 14s 2 years in a row at the Classic.
Two-handed or one-handed jump ball?
What do you? Preferably two-handed, but it doesn't apply most games I ref.
Blazer, Dolphin or Fox 40?
Dolphin.
Best partner to referee with?
Jackson Zates.
2PO or 3PO?
3PO.
Supervising or refereeing?
Refereeing.
Okay, now we're going to move into a special question.
Okay.
So I thank Emma Neal for sending in this question.
Oh gosh.
I'll show you it.
Yeah.
Hey Charlie, can you tell us about the most challenging game you've ever officiated?
The most challenging game I've ever officiated. That's tough. That's real tough. I don't know. There's too many. There's too many. I'll just start off with a few. So probably one of the most challenging ones, mentally, was my first 23 boys A I did. I went up to a player whose team is pretty well known in 23A and had been around for a few more seasons than I'd been reffing it. And I said, your piercings need to go, because he had two massive piercings in his ears. And he laughed at me and walked off. And I was like, this was before the game had even started. I was like, oh no, maybe I'm not ready for this transition. I was a bit worried about it. So yeah, that was a bit of a mental setback. What other challenging games? I haven't got a lot,
Just too good at your job.
No. I feel like the adrenaline kind of lifts you above in those games. And so it's hard to sink when the adrenaline kind of pushes you so high up sometimes. I guess probably some of my most challenging have been Thursday night games. Thursday night used to be a really tough night to officiate, especially when I was younger. You couldn't really talk back to players as a 15, 16-year-old, especially grown men. So reffing a few specific Thursday night teams used to give me grief every week. And I think those games were really challenging, probably some of the most challenging I've done, because that pushed me to be a better communicator. I'd say before that I really wasn't someone who communicated effectively most of the time. Most of my thoughts stayed in my head, and if there was conflict I tended to just avoid it. Whereas those games, I had no choice. You had someone probably screaming down your throat. Some of the worst players you can come across during the week at Knox basketball were chewing your ear off. So those were probably, there's no game in specific in my head, but week in, week out, you get those teams, and they're a tough challenge. They're probably some of my most toughest. Yeah.
Alright, just on the last note, why should somebody choose to referee at Knox?
That is a ripper question. I would say refereeing at Knox it's more than just a side job. It's more than just being a referee. There's a culture that as soon as you start to do those country trips or start to get on panel, you really quickly notice is not anywhere else. Knox, there's a reason your really respected referees at Knox who are on elite panels are still around at Knox week in, week out. For example, our advisor Megan, refereeing MDL1, but you see her here almost every weekend.
Yes.
Sam's around most of the time. Daniel's around every week, just to name a few, right?
Yeah.
You probably can't name an elite referee at Knox who's not actually spending time back at the branch, which means it's not just about refereeing, because at all those other associations, not all the time, but especially at smaller ones, it's possible that once elite refereeing hits a referee at those associations, that's all they can do.
Yeah.
That's all they feel like doing. Whereas I feel like at Knox we have that culture that you don't want to leave it. You don't want to be away from it. As soon as you engage in the culture will give back to you. I think, and so yeah, without engaging in the culture here, I don't think I ever would have been the person I am. And I think if I refereed somewhere else, I'm not sure if I'd be the person I am either. So that's why you should referee at Knox. Yeah.
We're definitely fans of you.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Yeah.
So on that note, I'd like to thank Charlie for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I
No
appreciate
worries,
it.
mate. Join in this time in a fortnight to watch the next person. And yeah, bye-bye.